say, what? The Falcons and Saints have one of the most heated rivalries in the NFL. Pelicans big man Derrick Favors is from Atlanta and is a Falcons fan, but he may want to tone down that fandom while he's in New Orleans. Say what?
I know people around here take it serious, though. Man, I can tell you, I told one of the Uber drivers, I was like, man, I'm from Atlanta. And he was talking about the Saints when Drew Brees got hurt. And he asked me who's my team. And I was like, I don't know if I should tell you. So I end up telling him, I was like, man, I'm a Falcons fan. And he stopped the car. He was like, man, you got to get out now, man. So I was like, whoa. So I learned my lesson.
We don't talk about that amongst the great NFL rivalries, but as far as fan base hatred, Falcons Saints, as good as any, as high of a level as you're going to find anywhere in the league.
The one basketball player from the 76ers, he's from D.C. area. He went to the power forward, the one that came over from Atlanta. He went to the Eagles game with a Washington jersey.
Oh, yeah, and fought people.
The forward.
Mike Smith.
Mike Scott. Yeah, Mike Scott. Yeah. They got into a little scuffle and everything.
Got into a little scuffle, man.
Bringing that heat. I like these NBA players, fans of the NFL. Yes, absolutely.
The only saving grace of the terrible call in the NFC Championship game was it would have been New Orleans fans in the Super Bowl in Atlanta. And if New Orleans had won a Super Bowl in Atlanta, man, there might still be skirmishes going on.
Yeah, they would have tore that city up.
Man.
All right, time for stories to start your morning. The Cowboys coming off a loss to the Saints, where Dak looked averaged and Zeke looked stalled. Jerry Jones said first-year offensive coordinator Kellen Moore is in the hottest seat in the business. See what needs to change for the Dallas Cowboys on offense.
Get back to the basics. We're gonna lean on the offensive line. We know we don't have Tyron Smith at the left tackle, so we have to be able to protect that guy. But let's get back to running the ball, throwing. We know Michael Gallup. With him being out of the lineup, we don't have as much speed. And I believe that Amari Cooper is a little nicked up. In this game, to get through it, I'm going to lean a little more on Zeke because I do believe that's the best matchup going against the Packers defense.
And Cowboys can't win without Zeke playing well. 1-8 in his career when he plays and he doesn't get at least 75 yards rushing. Last week would have been a great time for him to earn some of that $100 million. This week, an even better time for him to earn some of that $100 million. We saw Philly run all over this Packers defense.
Yeah.
It seems to be the weak point of the Green Bay Packers right now defensively. Let's see if Zeke can get it going. That's the simplest solution in the short term.
All right, moving on. Bears All-Pro linebacker Khalil Mack admitted that he thought he'd be an Oakland Raider for life. Mack will take on his former team in London on Sunday. Nick, you surprised by Mack's comments?
No, the only surprising thing relating to Khalil Mack in the last 18 months is that a team refused to pay him. Is that you have a player of that caliber, of that character, of that production, of that availability that you drafted, you have the cap space, and you're like, nah, we'd rather not have him. We throw this term around way too often. Generational talent. Khalil Mack is a true generational edge rusher. You don't get those guys very often. Maybe you get them once in a generation, and you let them walk out your door. That's a disaster for Oakland.
Yeah, the Raiders didn't appreciate who he was, didn't appreciate his character, didn't appreciate his leadership, didn't appreciate the great player and the low maintenance that he was. The other linebacker that they brought in, who was a team captain, just got suspended indefinitely from the NFL. Won't be seeing him anytime soon. And the other unannounced captain was Antonio with the money they spent. So the Bears appreciate a great linebacker. Just look at their history, and he'll spend the rest of his career with the Chicago Bears.
All right, moving on to Minnesota now. Kirk Cousins apologized to Adam Thielen yesterday for missing him on a deep route in the Vikings' loss to the Bears on Sunday. All right, so you break this down for us.
Well, for one, he's apologizing because he did have space to be able to. This was a tight game. Early in the game, 7-0. He missed him on 3rd and 10 here, right as they get to midfield. But Thielen should apologize because he should have run a little bit better route. At the top of the route, he's got a post corner. At the top of the route, you have to hint, which is you got to stick it in the ground to let the quarterback know, get ready to throw it. When you don't have that hint, the quarterback is rushed a little bit, and typically on a long ball, he's going to overthrow you. If you slow down and give a little hint, Fuller doesn't know if you're going to go across the, which he's going to go behind you, which is going to open up more space out there to the field for Kirk Cousins to be able to throw. Both of these guys, Kirk Cousins should take some blame, but Adam Thielen, as far as that route right there, he should take some responsibility because he could have given him a better indicator at the top of the route that he was going to the post corner.
Watching Chris break down almost any missed throw or interception from what the receiver went wrong perspective, I imagine is like for a kid in high school who they bring home their math homework and their dad or mom is a high-level college professor.
I would much rather the high school.
This is where you screwed this up, young man.
I would much rather the high school and college kids be telling me you don't know what you're talking about compared to Nick looking at me saying, you don't know what you're talking about, Chris.
Well, I thought Kirk Cousins could have thrown a better ball. Good job apologizing, Kirk. I can't break down this bananaing the route stuff. I thought you should have thrown a better ball. Yeah. Looked like a touchdown.
The difference between the good receivers and the great ones is a little bit of a head fake at the top.
Oh, okay.
All right, moving on. Despite a win
Throw
Sunday,
a better ball, Kirk.
Despite being undefeated, the Patriots need to figure out how to get their offense going. The one bright spot for Tom Brady was supposed to be all-pro wide receiver Josh Gordon. But Josh Gordon hasn't played like an all-pro yet this season. Pats offensive coordinator Josh McDaniels is taking the blame, saying, quote, I need to do a better job of finding ways to get him the ball. CC, how important is it for the Patriots to get Gordon more involved in this offense?
It's very important. They don't have any other options. But to me, I'm starting to see a little sign here. When Josh came back from a suspension this year, I don't know what kind of physical shape that he was in. It's not like other teams could get him. New England's very, very comfortable with him. But since he's been back, I haven't seen him have the explosion that I saw before. And how many times can you be suspended, be away from football, not practicing with the team, till you start losing some of your skill set? So for me with Josh Gordon, I'm wondering, how healthy is he? How much of his skill has he lost or has deteriorated because of the suspension? Because Demaryius Thomas, they highlighted him at the end of the preseason, like they were trying to use him. And then soon as they get AB, you know what they do? They move AB in front of Josh Gordon as the #1 receiver. So not only physically, I wonder where Josh is psychologically. Because moving AB in front of him, remember the Miami game at the beginning of the game? They threw AB like 3 of the first 4 attempts. As a wide receiver now, that can be disturbing. When you've been working all offseason, you done got reinstated in the league, you've been going through training camp, and AB's been acting a fool somewhere else, and you getting ready to reward him and move him in front of me? So this is something to watch. Like, we are not robots. We're humans. So Josh, this might be a great opportunity for him. But sometimes you forget about the opportunity and think about personally, why aren't my numbers? He's got a lot of incentives. He's incentivized to be really good this year, and he's the only deep threat that they have.
Well, so for him personally and for the Patriots team-wise, it's so critically important that Josh Gordon have a big season, especially now that Antonio Brown is gone, now that their left tackle's on IR, their center's on IR, their fullback's on IR, and Sony Michel's not playing great. In fact, he's not even playing well. They need to have some type of threat to the defense. And maybe Edelman can get deep occasionally, but it's going to take him some time now. And what have we seen about Tom Brady this year? Nobody's getting the ball out quicker in the entire league than Tom Brady.
I got a better chance of getting deep this year than Edelman.
So your only real deep threats are Dorsett, who, by the way, is the second most productive receiver for the Patriots so far this year, which is a concern, and Josh Gordon. And Josh Gordon's the only one that can strike fear in the heart of the defense. If you want to open up some of the Pats' running game, then you would need someone that the defense has to account for over the top. And for Josh Gordon, I hate to bring up the money, but Josh Gordon's never been paid. Josh Gordon is still on a rookie contract. Josh Gordon is still making in the medium 6 figures, which, while is a great salary for a regular job, for an NFL guy that's been out of Baylor for 7 years, he can't even go out to the team dinners with the guys. And so,
how do you think he felt when they gave AB
$9 million guaranteed?
Yeah. $15 million the first year, and gave him $20 million in the second year of that deal.
Triple what Josh Gordon has made in the entirety of his NFL career. So he's dealing with all these, the demons he has, the personal struggles that we are all rooting for him on. And then from an ego perspective, there's the money and the stats. And from a production football perspective, there is, am I still Flash? Am I still the guy who had one of the greatest individual seasons we've ever seen in league history for the Browns with their quarterback situation? All those things are going on. during a time the Patriots desperately need him. Maybe not this week against Washington, but over the course of the rest of the season.
But how much of this is on Josh Gordon to what for lack of a better term, play better, and how much is it on McDaniels to what call plays for him? I mean, if they suddenly throw a bunch of plays his way, do his numbers suddenly go up, or is this more on Gordon?
No one utilizes their personnel better than New England. There is no player on New England's offense that would be more productive in another system. And that includes Edelman, that includes Brady, that includes them all. And right now, with them being absent of big plays and Brady just playing average football, this is on Josh Gordon. That's all they do. It's a football laboratory. You think they aren't designing plays all around the clock to try to figure out how to get these guys open? But no separation early. And Nick told you yesterday with Tom Brady, if you don't get open within 2.2 seconds, you can forget it, unless you're the turf, because that's where the ball's going to be headed.
All right, moving on.